Dear students, welcome to the chemistry class. Today we are going to start the new chapter Surface Chemistry. The study which deals with the phenomenon which occurs at the surface or the interface is said to be surface chemistry. So whatever the reactions are occurring on the surface, it is named as surface chemistry, or the study is named as surface chemistry. The interface or the surface is represented by separating the bulk phases by a hyphen or a slash. The sentence what it represents is, if we are having a interface between a solid and a gas, how we can represent is solid hyphen gas or solid slash gas. Like this we can represent the interface, so that what we can understand in what two bulk phases the reaction is going to happen or it is happening. Due to complete miscibility, there is no interface between the gases. Of course, we have learned that if two gases are there, they just diffuse each other, or they diffuse, or diffusion process is there because of the complete miscibility. So there we can't say what interface or the surface is there, or we can't represent that thing. The interface is normally a few molecules thick, but its area depends on the size of the particle of bulk phase. In this chapter, we have to learn adsorption. We know the word absorption, and the spelling when we check, we know that instead of B, here D is there. The other thing is same. So, what do you mean or how we can differentiate these two words? Let's see. Absorption is the process which takes place when one substance enters the volume or bulk of another substance, whereas adsorption is the condition which occurs on the surface of the substrate. In the case of adsorption, there are intermolecular forces which make the molecules to hold each other. But in absorption, there is soaking of the liquid or gas by the solid, rather any forces applied on molecules. A simple example is there. If we are sitting on a chair and in front of the table we have kept a glass of water. By mistake, if the water falls on the table, what happens? What happens? On the surface of the table, the water will be spilled. And if you wipe it, what happens? The upper part of the table will get dry. But if you think if you think a tissue paper, if you're placing on the water spilled, what happens? The tissue paper will absorb the whole water. It more than, if the content is there, of course it will be in the liquid form itself, or more water will be there. But if a little water is there, so what happens? The tissue paper will absorb that one. But think about the table. Does the table absorbs the whole water in it? No. Only the surface is having the water. It's just getting wet there. But the tissue paper as a whole, it is getting what the full volume of the water is absorbed. So that is the difference between adsorption and absorption. Adsorption is on the surface, or it is happening on the surface only, but absorption is taking place in the bulk, or we can say absorption is uniform and the other one is not uniform throughout. Just like one more example, if you take a drop of ink and put on a chalk, what happens? The where the drop of ink is falling on the chalk, that part will be getting absorbed. It just spreads. How much ink is the ink drop is there, it spreads. When you cut the chalk piece, you can see what only the upper part is getting that color or the dye, but the remaining inside part is what? It's just the white part itself. So the surface only the phenomenon has taken place. So it is said to be what? Ab- Adsorption. Instead, if you put the If you put the chalk in the water for some time, what happens? The chalk will absorb the whole water in it, and when you cut it, or when just you broke the chalk, what happens? You can see inside the chalk also the water molecules are there. So there the absorption process has been taken. Here some terms are there which we should know the definitions. What do you mean by adsorbent? The substance on the surface of which the adsorption process takes place is called adsorbent. The substance on the surface of which the adsorption process takes place is said to be adsorbent. Adsorbate. The substance which is being adsorbed on the surface of another substance is said to be adsorbate. I'll repeat, the substance which is being adsorbed on the surface of another substance. Next term is desorption. Desorption, the word itself, there is a meaning. That is the process of removal of an adsorbed substance from the surface on which it is adsorbed. If we are removing the adsorbed substance from the surface, then the process is named as desorption. And the last one is sorption. When both the adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously, the term sorption is used. When both the adsorption and absorption process takes place simultaneously, we say the process sorption. Now let's discuss some of the adsorption process which are in action. If a gas like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, chlorine, ammonia or sulfur dioxide is taken in a closed vessel containing powdered charcoal, what we can observe is the pressure of the gas in the enclosed vessel decreases. This is happening because the gas molecules concentrate at the surface of the charcoal and the gases are adsorbed at the surface. In a solution of an organic dye like methylene blue, when the animal charcoal is added, the solution is well shaken also. If we stir it also, what we can observe is the filtrate becomes colorless. Again, here what adsorption process is there? How the molecules of the dye accumulate on the surface of the charcoal. That means it is adsorbed there. Aqueous solution of raw sugar, when passed over animal charcoal, it becomes colorless as the coloring substance are adsorbed by the charcoal. And the air becomes dry in the presence of silica gel because the water molecules get adsorbed on the surface of the gel. These are some of the examples for adsorption which is there according to your NCERT textbook. So you have to just go through the examples so that when the question is asked, you can explain this is happening due to the adsorption process on the surface. Now, let's see some adsorbent materials. Activated carbon, activated alumina, silica gel, molecular sieves, polar and non-polar adsorbents. Now you can see here a diagram where a container is there, where the molecule liquid is there and the particles are there. The surface molecules exert partially strong attractive forces to their sides, front and back and below. You can see here a particle on the surface of the water. Inside the water also, if you take one of the particle, you can see the particle is exerting some force, but it is weaker. In all the directions the force is there, but it is weaker. But on the surface, the particle which is there, it is exerting a strong attractive force in their sides, in their front and all. So this is the difference between what inside the liquid, what the molecule is experiencing the force, and on the surface how it is experiencing the force. There are two types of adsorption: positive adsorption and negative adsorption. Positive adsorption occurs when the concentration of adsorbate is higher on the surface of adsorbent than in the bulk, whereas the negative adsorption occurs when the concentration of adsorbate is less on the surface of adsorbent than in the bulk. So these are the two types of adsorption. But based on the intermolecular forces, adsorption can be classified into two: physical adsorption, or the other name of that one is physisorption, and chemical adsorption or chemisorption. So these are the two types of adsorption based on their intermolecular forces. Let's see the comparison between these two: physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Physical adsorption is caused by the intermolecular van der Waals force, whereas chemical adsorption is caused by the chemical bond formation. Physical adsorption is not specific, but chemical adsorption is highly specific. Physical adsorption is reversible, chemical adsorption is irreversible. Physical adsorption has heat of adsorption very low, that is 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole, whereas chemical adsorption is having high heat of adsorption, 80 to 240 kilojoules per mole. Physical adsorption is having low temperature, or it is favorable, whereas in chemical adsorption it increases with high temperature. Physical adsorption results in multi-layer adsorption, whereas chemical adsorption results in unimolecular layer. So these are the differences between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Factors affecting adsorption. The factors affecting adsorptions are the effect of adsorbate, the specific area of the adsorbent, the temperature, the pressure. Now let's see the effect of adsorbate, how it is. The easily liquefiable gases like ammonia, HCl, carbon dioxide, and etc. are adsorbed to a greater extent than the permanent gases such as hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. Specific area of the adsorbent. The greater the specific area of the solid, the greater would be its adsorbing capacity. So if the specific area of the solid is more, we'll be having the adsorbing capacity also more. Effect of temperature. Adsorption decreases with increase in temperature. And effect of pressure is an increase in pressure causes an increase in the magnitude of adsorption of an adsorbent. That means with the increase in pressure also the adsorbing capacity is increased. Now let's see adsorption isotherms. Isotherm means itself it's a graph plotted against something. So here the adsorption term is there. So how the graph will be? The variation in the amount of gas adsorbed by the adsorbent with pressure at constant temperature can be expressed by means of a curve, which is named as adsorption isotherm. So the variation of the amount of gas adsorbed by adsorbent with pressure, when we draw a graph using constant temperature, it is named as adsorption isotherm. Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Freundlich in 1909 gave an empirical relationship between the quantity of gas adsorbed by unit mass of solid adsorbent and pressure at a particular temperature. The same sentence, if we draw a graph, we can name it as adsorption isotherm. And this scientist, Freundlich, gave an empirical relationship between this quantity of gas adsorbed by unit mass of solid adsorbent and pressure at constant temperature. And that relationship is expressed as x by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n, where the n is greater than 1. What is this x and m or p, k values? Where x is the mass of the gas adsorbed and m is the mass of the adsorbent. at pressure P. K and small letter n are the constants which depend on the nature of the adsorbent and the gas at a particular temperature. So this relationship is given by the Freundlich. And after this, using this expression only, the graph is plotted. Now you can see a graph which is named as adsorption isotherm or Freundlich adsorption isotherm. What is there in the x and y axis? Pressure is there with the x by m. X by m is what? The gas adsorbed on the adsorbent. The relationship is generally represented in the form of a curve, where mass of the gas adsorbed per gram of the adsorbent is plotted against pressure. These curves indicate that at a fixed pressure, there is a decrease in physical adsorption with increase in temperature. So, with this graph, we can understand the isotherm. Taking logarithm of the equation means x by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n. That equation, when you take the logarithm on both sides, we can write it as log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log p. Again I'll repeat, log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log p. With that log x by m, if we plot a graph against log p, we'll get a straight line where we will be having the intercept log k and slope will be 1 by n. The validity of Freundlich isotherm can be verified by plotting this graph. If it comes to be a straight line, the Freundlich isotherm is valid. Otherwise, it is not. The slope of the straight line gives the value of 1 by n. The intercept on the y-axis gives the value of log k. So this is said to be Freundlich isotherm. Adsorption from solution phase we can explain as the solids can adsorb solutes from solution also. When a solution of acetic acid in water is shaken with charcoal, a part of the acid is adsorbed by the charcoal and the concentration of the acid decreases in the solution. This is an example of the solution phase. For adsorption from a solution having the concentration of solute C concentration, how it will be? Mole per liter. The equation x by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n can be modified as x by m is equal to k into c raised to 1 by n. If we take the logarithm on both sides, how this equation can be rewritten? Log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log c. So, using the solution phase also we can express the Freundlich isotherm. Some of the applications of adsorption are in clarification of sugar, in gas mask, in catalysis, in adsorption indicators, in chromatographic analysis, in softening of hard water, preserving vacuum, paint industry, and in removing moisture from air in the storage of delicate instruments. So these are some of the important applications of adsorption. Thank you, and we will continue in the next session.